Welcome back to this, the 425 episode of the Glossy News 4K podcast, news reviews, and all that good stuff. I am your host, Brian K. White, and we've got some great stuff this week. I can't remember any of what it is, but I assure you it is off the chain. We're going to start by going with a segment about...
Are you going to mention me at all? Like who I am or what? What's going on?
You
said you were going to.
I guess.
Kind of rude.
I guess I could mention, this week we have a guest. I am joined in studio by Jason Jones. Now, how should I address you? Jazz V. Jones? Jason V. Jones? V. Jones.
Sure.
V. Jones. V. Jonesy.
Yeah.
He's a longtime collaborator. You can find some videos of his with him on my Glossy News channel, youtube.com/Glossy News, where we play a pair of crackheads with many great business ideas. It's absolutely, it's based on a true story. It's inspired by actual events, and it's probably a history of the future for both of us, because I've been meaning to take up a crack habit. I hear it's good for weight loss, mostly
great for weight loss,
mostly teeth, but
teeth loss, weight loss, that goes hand in hand.
Hair loss, health loss. It's,
right. No pain, no gain. No teeth, no gain.
Right. No. The thing is, you know how hard it is to eat when you don't have teeth, and you're awake for 3 days,
and you're not hungry because you're on
crack. Yeah, it's a good system.
I have to say though that my wife hates me playing the crackhead.
Why?
Like, she's like, what if people think you're really like that?
That's ridiculous.
I know. I'm like, well, it's this thing called make-believe. Like, everything on TV, popular contrary belief isn't always real.
I don't think that's true. I think everything on TV is true.
Well, that's what the internet says.
You can't make stuff up on the internet. No. I don't know if you know that.
No.
It's important to...
It's like investigative reporting. Everything's true.
Well, they should label it then, because I don't know which parts of TV are real and fake, and that's upsetting to me. And I'm gonna Bing that on Google later and ask Jeeves if that's true, because I don't think it is.
Well, I know, because the way we grew up with video games, and we all know that video games are real.
Well, I do know that media portrayals of violence make people violent.
Like, look at The Matrix, man.
Well,
it's real.
Kids play Grand Theft Auto. They want to go out and beat up hookers. And I know that's true, because when I was a kid, I played Pac-Man. And what did I do in college? I went to places that were all darked out, and and I would take these I'd chomp down these white pills.
Right.
And I would see ghosts, and I would go around eating them.
Yep. So, and the lighting and everything. Yeah. And the music was just kind of a same thing.
Yeah. The club scene
electronic music
is Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know this, but it's actually Miss Pac-Man.
I was about to say that.
It had the bow. That was so groundbreaking to add a bow and call it Miss Pac-Man.
And like, you'd see that chick in the rave club that had that bow, and you're like, I know where I am.
I'm home.
I'm home.
So also in terms of violent depictions on television, because those are what causes crime. I know when I was a kid,
and sex scenes cause crime.
Well, I know when I was a kid, I watched a lot of Roadrunner, and I don't know if you heard this, but I actually did drop an anvil on a bird once in the desert.
Yeah, I think everybody's done that.
Right. And fun tip, by the way, if you're a hunter and you're legally prohibited from owning a firearm, which I think most of us are now, what you can do is paint fake tunnels on the sides of rocks.
I always wonder if that actually works, and now that's confirmed.
I saw a picture on the internet. I'll put it up. I'm going to put it up right here on the screen over your face. Don't grab that and move it over my face. It is son of a bitch. Okay. Okay. But you know what? We'll put it down here. Yeah. This is true. There was a restaurant or something that had painted a mural for the Roadrunner and put a tunnel there, and sure enough, a drunk driver crashed into it.
Wow.
And they had to paint over it. because people are too stupid to not drive into fake tunnels.
I could also see that as being a real smart-ass teenager going, you know what, Dad has insurance on this. I'm just going to smash, like, right into it.
Well, I'm 25. I can rent a car, and they wouldn't lay off about the insurance. They said, anything happens, just drop it off. So I drove into a fake tunnel.
Right. Or you could go in the fake tunnel, and then a real train comes out and hits you.
That actually happened to a friend of mine. He painted the fake tunnel and then entered it, and then he didn't actually get hit, but he was chased out by the real train.
Right.
It was a free range train.
Roadrunner was driving it too.
Right.
If I remember correctly.
It was a free range train.
Yeah.
Those don't require. I mean, they require tracks, obviously, but you don't have to lay the tracks in advance. They're very futuristic. I think they're invented in Japan.
All the good stuff still comes out of Japan, right?
Do you mean hentai?
I wasn't talking about electronics. That's all Taiwan.
I'm a fan of. There's a lot of interesting film culture that's come out of Japan. Are you familiar with bukkake?
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
So I haven't told you this.
It's very 90s.
I haven't told you this. I'm actually.
There's worse shit out there now.
I have a new film project I'm working on, and we're going to be recording next Saturday. If you want to come out and check it out, it's going to be. There's going to be, I don't know. Obviously all the lights and setup, and I'm borrowing a second camera for it. And you should come out and join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. You want to come do that? It's an adult film.
Okay. I'm trying to kind of connect things together stuff, and I guess it just depends on what you want me to do.
Well, if you want, you can be in it.
No.
Are you sure?
Let me think about it. No.
Okay. I should clarify. No one will ever see this video.
Oh, well, if nobody will see this video, then yeah, sure.
And it's just going to be you and me.
Right.
Obviously.
Wait a minute. Am I going to get paid for that?
That's the question.
Okay. All right.
That's the question. That's the question. Not is it porn, not is it gay sex, not is it cheating on my wife. The question is, let's get down to ass tax. Am I going to get paid?
Right.
This is America. You know how hard it is to find.
2016. Gay is not gay anymore.
Well, gay is the new straight.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
And bi is the new gay.
Right, but that makes perfect sense now.
I saw a great joke the other day online. This guy said, "Yeah, I saw some gay porn the other day. It was a man and a woman, but they cuddled afterwards, and that was so gay."
Yeah, it's just totally gay.
Yeah. I once had a job where it was a joke job. It was from the guys that I did all the hoax writing for, where they had me. One of their arch rivals in real life had started a site doing porn for the blind. And it wasn't just audio porn. It was literally descriptions of websites in audio. So what they had me do, this is a true story, they had me record descriptions of porno sites using different accents. And it was so I'd be like, yeah, wow. And then there's a woman there, and she's got her boobies out, and here comes a feller. Oh boy, he's shaving, his bells are shaving. And they did this to mock their rival. They spent thousands of dollars.
Wow.
They had,
and that's very that sounds very Midwest porn. Like, yeah, you know what she looks like, yeah.
And it was great because they're like, here's the list of sites, and it was like hundreds of sites, and they're like, pick whichever ones you want, try and do a variety. And after 2 or 3 weeks of turning in audio clips for him, he goes, yeah, I've noticed you haven't done any of the gay sites. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
because
there's a limit sometimes to just what,
right.
Some people, they don't have that, and there's
right.
other people, they have a line. Besides that, did you explain to me you have a lot of work when you have to translate all of that into the Braille machine?
I probably forgot to mention that.
Right.
What I should have done was I should have just said that I can watch the gay porn, but I'll get so excited I won't be able to talk about it.
I think I've heard that, like Playboy and some of the magazines, they had Braille.
Huh.
of the magazine. Okay, you were forced to read the articles is the problem.
See, my problem would be if I was a blind guy, I'd be like, well, how does anyone get into Playboy? They look at someone else's. I don't want to touch someone else's Playboy because it's probably sticky.
And here's the true thing, though. So if you're a blind man that's married to a woman and you have Playboy and Penthouse Braille on your coffee table, and she comes home early from work, he can actually truly say to her, I read it for the articles. There's no getting around that. She can't say anything else. She's like, I can't see the pictures, so I have to read the articles.
Have you heard that they're actually going away from naked pictures?
Yeah, and it makes sense.
Does it?
Well, obviously from the numbers. I mean, it is just crashed. I think they could go more like pin up and still be naked, but more, I don't know, classy maybe.
Oh no, they've always been classy. What I love is I have a friend who did adult photography, very high caliber kind of guy.
Right.
And every now and then he'd get a model he's working with who'd be like, yeah, I was in Playboy. And the first thing he'd say is, print or online? And the answer was always, online.
Well, I think there's a combination. There's a whole online thing that's like destroyed newspapers and magazines and everything in general. And then just on top of that, I think people's appetite for what they would consider risque is these days at a whole different level.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I reviewed a number of sites. I have an idea of what you speak.
Right. Like, people are not interested in,
but the thing
they're
is,
typing in like black horse cock these days, and you can get anything you want on there. It just, Playboy's just so tame.
Yeah, but in fairness, you can get a black horse cock on Amazon.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter which site you go to. No, but the thing is, Playboy print is about quality above all else, and anything online is about quantity.
True.
So even Playboy online, I imagine they've probably got.
But it's a perceived value too. Like, people need it in their hands. The magazine, it may come back as a resurgence like a lot of other things have, like music,
like
in
vinyl.
your hands.
Sure.
Like vinyl, it's in your hand. You have the artwork. It's not like 5 things that you downloaded on your phone that you listened to twice. They were super cheap. It's a perceived value. That's coming back in all kinds of different things too.
That's true. That's true.
It may have a resurgence. I think they should just leave it alone and chill out for a couple of years, and I bet you anything it'll go back to just good old Playboy the way it was, because by then it'll be nostalgic.
Well, interestingly, Hugh Hefner sold Playboy for, I don't know, $1 kajillion. And then about, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, he bought the company back.
Right.
Pennies on the dollar, of course, but even then, I'm just not convinced it was a good investment, because it's part of a dying medium.
Yeah, time will tell. Who knows? There may be a resurgence in newspapers. It's like the e-readers thing too. I mean, they're great, they're convenient, but people really missed having books, and that's kind of came back too. So
my problem with newspapers is that they got away from doing news. When I go online to look for news, I'm looking for big news. When I read a paper, I want a story that I didn't know about that still is compelling.
And something that you trust from a reliable source.
Well,
a lot of news, even TV news, has lost their credibility or talked about stupid things.
Remember on South Park, the Black Friday episode? There are people lined up, they're rioting, and there are reports of cannibals.
Exactly.
You've seen people committing acts of cannibalism?
Right.
No, we're just reporting it.
To a T. I mean, I won't get too much in elections, but they twist all those numbers depending on who's in charge of that. So, I don't know. I don't think people look at it as like a tangible truth anymore. It used to be that there was confirmed sources for it.
There's a poll out today that says, right. That's one poll. Let's look at 5 polls.
Right.
Because there's always going to be an outlier. You can always find a sensational story and headlines. Oh, yeah. I saw 10 of the craziest headlines. You won't believe number 7.
Right. And they have their ways too. Like, your kids could die tomorrow. Stay tuned at 11.
No, what they say is your kids could die at 9:45. Story at 11.
Right.
Oh, come on. Just tell me this. Stop telling me what you're going to tell me and just tell me.
Apparently, that's like part of a ratings thing. So when you get those, that's when they're trying to jump the ratings up for like the local news. And that's
now
when
they
get
do it
those
all the time,
ridiculous
though.
Things like, we could all die tonight. Stay tuned at 11.
Is your drinking water contaminated?
Right.
Story at 11. 11 o'clock rolls around. It's not even at the top of the hour. It's at the bottom of the hour. And the answer is no.
Right.
We checked.
Even after the weather
fine.
tomorrow, which you like, yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean,
I'm just waiting for the weather forecast to get better than go look out the window.
Yeah, here in the Northwest, that's pretty much what it is.
It really is.
Or you can look at your phone and it says it's going to be this, and then they change it. Like last week when it was going to be 80, then they said 70, and then they said 80 again. Then one station said 82, and the other one said 76, all in the same day.
Okay, I'm gonna do the weather right now for the rest of the year. You ready?
Yeah.
Chance of showers.
There you go. Mm-hmm. A chance of sunshine.
Well,
Stay tuned at 11.
Right. Yeah, we've got a closing thought at the end of the episode. I know I say that every episode, and with very few exceptions, we do have a closing thought. And I really do want you to hang around for it, because this week's closing thought, it's going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is yet, but it's going to be...
Yeah.
It's going to be a closing thought.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
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 All right. So at this point in the podcast, which is normally 15 minutes ago, I mention this week's sponsor. This week's show is brought to you in part by Summer. It's coming soon. Summer, it's what's for dinner.
Yeah. Stay tuned at 11.
All right.
Will we have summer this year? Stay tuned at 11.
The answer may surprise you.
The answer may indeed surprise you, or it may not. Stay tuned at 11.
It's still true to say that it may. Story at 11.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get started.